Hello and welcome to Gender Perspectives on Signature TV. Here, we discuss all gender-related issues that interest and affect us. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha. Let's go on a short break. Don't go anywhere.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking. Events occur and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
Thanks for staying with us. This is still Gender Perspectives. Well, today's discussion is on work-life balance among men and women. In a nutshell, work-life balance is a term used to describe the balance between an individual's work and personal life. Let's take a look at the background report for more insight on this.
In the intersection of work and personal life, the work-life balance is the equilibrium between the two. There are many aspects of one's personal life that can intersect with work, including family, leisure, and health. Work-life balance is a concept that has become increasingly important in today's society. It refers to the balance between an individual's work and personal life. A good work-life balance is essential for both men and women to maintain their physical and mental health, as well as their overall well-being. The impact of work-life balance on men and women can be seen in a variety of ways. For example, a study by the Families and Work Institute found that women are more likely than men to report feeling stressed and overwhelmed by their work and family responsibilities. This is likely due to the fact that women are still more likely to be the primary caregivers for children and other family members. However, men are also affected by work-life balance issues. A study by the American Psychological Association found that men are more likely than women to report feeling pressure to work long hours and to sacrifice their personal time for their jobs. This can lead to stress, burnout, and even health problems. Traditionally, men and women have occupied different social roles in terms of the amount of time spent on work and family duties. Stereotypically, men work full-time outside their homes, while women take care of domestic and family duties. Gender-based role divisions are actually part of the collective culture. Females are associated with caring, listening, and kindness skills, while males are associated with authority, aggression, domination, and autonomy. Consequently, although these clearly differentiated roles may be now outdated, the likelihood that family responsibilities still pertain to the charge of women remains high. Studies have found that women tend to spend more hours on family activities than men, but that the hours spent on work activities were the same for men and women. The benefits of maintaining a healthy work-life balance include reduced stress levels, improved mental and physical health, increased job satisfaction, improved relationships with family and friends, increased productivity, greater sense of well-being. There are a number of things that individuals can do to achieve a good work-life balance, such as setting boundaries between work and personal life, prioritizing tasks and responsibilities, delegating tasks when possible, taking breaks and vacations, making time for hobbies and interests, seeking support from family and friends. Work-life balance is an important issue for both men and women. By taking steps to achieve a good work-life balance, individuals can improve their physical and mental health, as well as their overall well-being.
There are many different definitions of work-life balance, but most agree that it is about finding a way to manage the demands of your work and personal life in a way that is sustainable and that allows you to enjoy both aspects of your life. There are many factors that can affect work-life balance, such as the number of hours you work, the type of work you do, your family situation, and your personal interests. It is important to find a balance that works for you, as there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Well, today, to discuss this, we have Mrs. Chikamso Abraham Ngobiri, an administrator, and Uchenna Ugu, an entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, let's go right into our conversation.
Okay.
Today, we're looking at work-life balance.
Okay.
And you both work and you have your personal lives as well. So I know that you both can relate and understand this, better. Now, in your opinion, how would you define work-life balance? Chikamso, let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you. So work-life balance is more like having, being able to harmonize your work life and your personal life and the job you do, and still be able to meet up with your personal needs, your hobbies, get self-care, and be able to achieve your own personal goals as much as you give at your workplace or to whatever you are doing.
Okay. Anything to add to that? Uche, anything you want to...
Okay, am I coming from the side of the male now? Or
No, you just tell us generally what you think work-life balance is all about. We're looking at it like generally now.
Okay.
Before we get to that.
All right. From my experience and from what I've studied, work-life balance is creating an equilibrium, a seeming equilibrium between your work life and your life at home, and with your families and your hobbies and other things. So it's creating an equilibrium there. That's what I understand to be work-life balance.
Okay, and in today's society, a lot of things, there are a lot of things to do, there are a lot of things to achieve, a lot of deadlines to meet. What's in today's society, what do you think are the biggest obstacles to achieving a healthy work-life balance?
All right. The biggest, I think, is lack of time management. Number one is one of the biggest, and the second biggest is boundaries, not having boundaries. Now when I say, let me start with the second one, boundaries. It's about not knowing when to call it a shot, not knowing when to cut it off. For example, if I work as an entrepreneur, which I am, and I finish everything and I come home and I still keep checking the emails, keep going online, replying those chats, I will end up not resting or having a lot to do to have my time for myself. So it will affect my work the next day. So not knowing the boundaries, even when to stop working and when to do other things, affects. So I think people not having boundaries is one. Then management of time, not knowing how to prioritize timing is a big issue when it comes to that balance of time. So I believe that when people have, so I believe that when people have that time management and set boundaries, and I believe they will be able to balance both their life as a person and their life in the work. Thank you.
Okay, the question again. The question.
Yeah, I said in today's society, there are a lot of deadlines to meet. So what are the obstacles people face these days when it comes to managing a healthy work-life balance?
Okay, well, some of the obstacles people face is the existing work policies. In some workplaces, they are short-staffed, and because of that, one person has to do 3 people's job, and this person is working at being able to meet up. This person is being overworked, is being loaded with a lot of tasks. So this could be one of the obstacles to achieving a work-life balance. Another thing, just as you said, time management. There are people that have a lot of responsibilities, but they are able to schedule, this is what I'll do at this time, this is what I want to achieve at this time, and at the end of they end up being productive, and they still cover up what they are supposed to do. So personally knowing how to manage your time can help you even multitask. So people not being able to manage their time is also one of the obstacles to achieving a work-life balance. Now, I also mentioned existing policies in a work area. Some work environments don't really have this policies that encourage and support work-life balance. They just want you to work. Break time is just written in your employment book or whatever. It is never observed because you still have a lot of files and works to attend to. You end up not even going for the break. So day in, day out, it's like a circle that keeps repeating, and that work-life balance is not there. Then there are some work policies that you have to work from home, work on site, work everywhere, work on the road, answer calls, do this one. They don't allow you to be able to manage your personal life and the work. So these are some of the obstacles.
Yes, I agree with you totally when it comes to, organizations not giving time for, staff to have a life outside of work when you're doing multiple roles at the same time. And I'm bringing it down to our society in Nigeria here. We have these norms. This program is gender perspective, of course, so we're looking at how this affects both male and female. And in our society, we have these gender roles, the traditional gender roles that is expected of, both genders in society. Now, how do you think this affects work-life balance of individuals?
Okay, I believe I should be talking for the women or for the
yes,
female gender.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the female gender, there's a lot of expectations from women in our society today. So married people, they have the child care responsibilities, they have household responsibilities. Some people have elderly people around them, they also have to cater for. And all these things, they are seen as feminine roles in the home. Now this same person has to go to work, has a work schedule, has targets to meet at work. So the both sides, the responsibilities this person has from the house and the responsibilities the female has at work. And at workplaces, they even expect more from females. They even expect it to be more productive than the guys, so this can be very challenging in our time, very, very challenging. Yes. And then some females, they also have these financial expectations from them in the home as women too in our world today. So this can really be very challenging on the female aspects.
Yes, but do you think, when it comes to women, some people will argue with the whole these days women want to work, before it wasn't like that, so they had the time to take care of all those feminine responsibilities. Okay. So what's your response to that when people raise such arguments as to maybe saying we are the cause of our problems, maybe if we just did not push so hard to want to work and do all of those things, maybe we'll have the time to do other things and not complain about having a work-life balance. Okay,
it's to know what actually pushed the female gender into doing that. It's the demands. They say bills no be your mates. It's the demands. So it's kind of the demands from the family, and then the extended family, your immediate family. That's really what made women to really start looking into working, doing professional works. You get another thing. Okay.
I'd like to. I was about to call you short earlier when you mentioned about women being demanded, like tasks being demanded of women more.
Okay.
I was about to say that it looks like it's the male. Because the male is looked at as the leader in an organization. Okay. He's supposed to be professional, productive. He's supposed to deliver. He's supposed to take charge of everything, and that means the productivity hangs on him. And obviously, like on average, men are seen to be more of the leaders in the organization. So
why
about women being demanded more, like the task demanded of women more, I was like,
they'll tell you, you're a woman, you should be more detailed. You should have the heart of a mother. You should be more giving to details. You should be able to know nitty-gritties. Men are just,
Which
they are
is good.
stereotyped, they are this.
She's actually required of them.
Aw.
These details.
So meaning that she's not wrong. You know,
The male
she's
should
not
be
wrong.
responsible.
There are-
We are responsible. That's what I mean. We are
Okay.
responsible for both the good and the bad. When
So
when
the
it
ladies
fails,
in the workplace are not responsible. They are not.
Yeah.
In a workplace,
when even if the male is the assistant or the vice, when things fail, they look at you more, because it is believed in quotes that you're supposed to take charge.
okay, so in line with that, let's now look at the societal pressures when it comes to traditional gender roles for men and how it affects work-life balance.
Like societal pressure.
Yes, tell like just how she talked about how women are expected to do this and do that. Now, men, what's your own side of the story? What
Okay,
exactly?
Okay, first of all, men have 4 faces. 4 faces in the sense that they have the face of a warrior, the one that goes out to work, to do things. Secondly, they have the face of a king, the one that leads an organization. Thirdly, the society demands that a man thoroughly have the face of a lover. He should have love for both the children, for example, at home, and for the wife. And lastly, the face of a friend. So the society have this quadruple dichotomy when it comes to the male man. So the male is supposed to deliver well in the work, and secondly, he's supposed to be required to come back home and drop off all the armors, and supposedly try to fit into the children and all that. And for example, I read the story of one man. He was going through his report for the day. He was trying to balance his account, reconcile. For us in accountancy, we call it bank reconciliation. So he was trying to do all of those details, and the child comes on with an assignment. Now the energy is high on him. So for him to like drop this off and try to attend to this child, it takes a lot of switching off. And even for him to be able to attend to the wife, that is the face of the friend now and the lover. So I think the pressures are quite much, if you ask me, on the male man to switch between modes, to remove the energy he had for most of the times of the day and try to become feminine at home.
Chika, so you look like you have a lot to say in response to this,
No,
because
no,
the way you are looking at it.
No, he's trying to say that men have there's more expectations on the side
Yes,
of
on
the
the side of men.
I'm not doubting it too. There is really a lot of expectations on the side, because no matter what a lady has, she still wants to get from either her husband or her brother, or she still wants to get something. So there is this expectation from them. But any lady who is really working has a lot of expectations coming from her side. I know that because the lady is working, she's learning to be independent. Some ladies don't even like to always depend on the man. So there's this expectation to meet up so that they can cater for this and that and do this one and do that one. So you see that at the end of the day, the two seems to be clashing,
Yes.
because they really don't have that time to now focus on themselves, do what they like, and they come back home, they are now exhausted. They can't even give time to washing the clothes, cleaning, doing this, because they're exhausted. They wanted to meet up at work. And then some jobs are really extremely demanding. So even when you want to be able to rationalize this so that you have energy to do other things at home, they will not give you targets that they know that they themselves that stated the target cannot even meet. And then you are left in between, because this is a paid job. If you leave it, is there anything waiting for you outside to clear your bills? You now be trying to meet up. At the end of the day, you end up giving 80% of your life battery at work. You now come back, all you are thinking of, can I just get to bed and sleep, because it has been a day.
Yes.
You now say, okay, I'll wash tomorrow. You now carry it over to tomorrow. From tomorrow, you now get, every day comes with its own challenges, and you get to work tomorrow, new tasks, new this. You end up not doing that one again.
Yeah.
You end up doing what you should do at work, even sometimes not finishing everything. You come back, this clothes is like his weekend though. You now leave it again. You know, that work-life balance, because women at home, there is really a lot of expectation from women. And if you don't do, they say, she's lazy, she cannot do anything. They are just there. All your life, you just be pressing computer in the office. You not come back, you pressing laptop. There's nothing you are doing in this house.
I think on that domestic side, it's quite replaceable. You can hire somebody to do that. But what I'm trying to point out is ultimately the burden rests on the shoulder of bringing in the resources, which is on the man, like she also indicated.
Yes.
It is even better that the woman loses the job than for the man in society.
In the eyes of society.
In the eyes of society.
Just to be clear.
Depending on what the job is, so and if it's something we should know who should go, who should lose the job,
who is earning more.
And who is earning more.
If the money is coming, other things can be, can be sourced out, can be given out. But that is why the ultimate responsibility is on the man.
And looking at this now, it has effects like psychological and emotional impact and effects on both males. Exactly. So let's discuss that. Talk
now,
to me.
Let me tell he said something about that. It could be outsourced, helping out at home.
Yeah.
Now that is something that can be done. Maybe you could get an extended relative from the extended family, or somebody, a stranger or something. Yeah. Yes, but you would love your children so well that you may not trust your children's life to somebody, a stranger, to train. So in as much as you still have that person, it's still that responsibility is still on you to know what this person is helping your children out with. What values is this person instilling in your children? Psychologically, you're still trying to control the atmosphere of your home, the environment, so that you don't lose your children because you are trying to make money and outsource help. Then also, you may get somebody to help in the house, and then the person is not doing it to your taste. You are this type of person. The cup should be on the dining. The cup should be on the dining. The cup should be on the dining. And then you get somebody.
Some men are like that. So some men are very.
Then you not end up getting somebody that will not keep the cup in the kitchen, whereas your rule is that the cup should be on the dining. Now you are trying to, let me focus on work and then have little to do at home. You come back psychologically, you are still being worked up. Emotionally, you are still being worked up. Now this person also is a human being. In as much as this person is helping you out, the person is, I don't want to use the word an extra burden, but it's an extra human in your space. So you are also trying to cater for, how do I ensure that this person is not here as a slave? He's also having his or her own life, in as much as this person is trying to help me achieve my own goals. And then this person, maybe the person is still in school, person has academic goals to achieve, person has discovering destiny and purpose, because the person will not keep living with you all the days of the person's life. So you understand that in as much as some of this help can be outsourced, every intentional person still has to put in that psychological effort, that emotional effort to still achieve their personal life goals, in as much as somebody is helping out physically.
I was going to come in, but let me still focus on your question. Societal expectations and how it mounts pressure on the male man now. So in the work and at home, the man is supposed to bring balance. That creates a burnout. He's supposed to deliver, be productive at work, whether physical work or the corporate world. He's supposed to deliver well and be in charge of his work. And then he's also supposed to come home and, tender to the children, be a loving father, and create that intimacy with both the children and because especially the daughters, they care for their father's love a lot. Sometimes they will not even allow you rest. They will want to come up and hang on you and all that. So there is need to that switch. So firstly, it creates burnout. It creates burnout. That is when trying to switch these modes is very hard. I can tell you, men know this. For women, it is discovered that their brain kind of works on two ways. Like they work, they have. Should I use double?
It's easy to multitask. They can handle more than one thing at once.
Yes. It's not easy for the man. This is easier said than known. Men have difficulty switching modes because their natural habitat of function is focus, and once they lose focus, it creates this burnout. It creates this idea of how do I switch this? because the man is supposed to deliver, and focus creates problem when there is the woman demanding from him, and the baby is demanding from him, and the pressure of trying to meet up to the expectations is also another problem.
Yeah.
You know, so switching this now is a problem. I'm coming from the side of the man, because the society wants you to deliver. They don't care what you're going through. They want you to deliver. So worry is also another problem. Worrying about what if I don't meet up? What if I don't meet up to this? And it also reduces their attention span. That's another challenge men go through. Their attention, trying to focus, because once you're working, you remember, oh, the bills are coming. You know, like she also indicated it. Women don't care much about the bill because the money is going to come regardless. So it creates this worry, creates burnout, and the difficulty of trying to focus, the difficulty of switching modes, bringing back yourself, say, okay, I'm no longer the warrior, I'm no longer outside. It creates burnout for the male man. I must put this out.
Yeah.
But kudos to all men there trying.
Kudos to all men and kudos to all women too. Chika,
Yeah.
so what effects he has mentioned? You know how this affects men, and so I would like to know, how does this affect women?
It makes a lot of women to lose their own life trying to fight for every other thing. They lose their own life, like not like dying, like they lose their own personal life, what gives them joy. They sacrifice it because they want to meet up to other things. So you find out that most women at some point, they're like, all that is on their table is my child, my boss, my husband, my family. That self-care, that personal, okay, what was I thinking I would do with my life when I was single, or what is it that I propose to do with my life, or that I've discovered I should be doing with my life? That attention to it is reduced to the barest minimum because they are trying to meet up to every other thing. So this is like what the effect is, one of the effects it gives to the female gender. Another effect is that it reduces productivity. You will find out that some women they will now not be able to meet up with everything. Assuming you have a child now that is sick, you have school runs to go to, you have PTA, and then you are thinking of how will I meet up with this PTA? How will I meet up with dropping my child off at school? You now forget to respond to a mail. You now forget to do this. And then at work, your boss is like, you were supposed to do this by 12. You were supposed, and then you didn't do it because you were trying to think of, oh, I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to do that. Then at the end, you're not thinking, okay, when I get home, what are we going to eat? What am I going to eat? What's going to happen? You're just checking, what do I have in the fridge? Do I have anything? And that concentration is down because of the load of the work and other things that you have. So
I
for
guess
some,
you were designed for that now, multitasking.
we're designed for that, but you know that batteries go down, right? It just keeps dropping.
Well, I mean,
you just have
she
to
gave a good
retreat.
analogy.
You have to retreat and refuel before you come up to that level again, because
If we should bear all the burden and be responsible for the money, then I feel women should also be responsible for, planning some of all those things that we may not have details to plan.
exactly
well,
what
considering
she's
that
trying to
these
do.
days, both men and women now bring in the money. I mean, you're working and she's working as well. So definitely she'll be contributing a quota to the household.
What should not
So
happen
at
in the
the
house
same
is
time,
that
obviously,
both
men-
parties should be contributing. The woman alone should not be left with house chores.
Because
The
which
man
is
at
also
some
where I want
point
to
should come
now.
in.
Okay.
You should be in trade. If he's a real man, you should not be doing, oh, you're working, I'm not working. You should say, okay, I'm working on this. So he's like coming in a partnership now.
Yeah.
Both caring for the children is also supposed to be the work of the male man. So I think creating that
Yeah,
balance,
exactly. I was actually coming to ask that question. How does family planning and career, like how does it impact work-life balance? How do you merge the two, like as a man and as a woman, you're working and at the same time you have a life. Now, how does proper planning, how does it affect work-life balance?
Proper planning affects work-life balance in a positive way, in the sense that if okay, I'm using married people that have children for as my case study. So assuming now that you have to take the children to school, you have to pick them off. Now what it should be is, okay, the woman's, assuming her workplace is closer to the children's school, okay, go with them. Now by 2 or 3 she's going to be busy and the man is going to be free. Okay, the man, pick them up. The man, okay, I'll pick them up because I'm going to be free at that time. So that is what, if that cooperation, that partnership comes in, there will be balance. So the woman can concentrate and say, okay, I'm going to be this productive at work, be able to complete my task. And then, because maybe when they were leaving in the morning, she has provided lunch and everything. So when the man comes back, she not sit down with the children and wait, mommy is not back, so nobody is eating. The man enters the kitchen, prepares something for everybody to eat till the wife is back. If it's a wife that returns back first, in that order, if there is that planning, everybody's life will be balanced. Nobody will be overworked. Now you are the man that comes back first. When you were a bachelor, you used to wash clothes. All of a sudden you marry, you no more wash clothes.
Yeah.
Your hands are
So
don't touch clothes again. So you come back, if it's a children's uniform, your own clothes, you could take them, wash. Maybe the plates, you could help. Anything you know you would do that you are chance that will help everybody to be able to be productive. I'm not just talking about the man being helpful. Even the woman, there are some things you can do. Maybe your husband is so tired, he comes back from work, the fuel in the car is down. You could, assuming you could drive, you could just drive out the car, refill it, so that the man doesn't have to, I'm thinking, hey, I'll leave by 6 so I can buy fuel before I get to where I'm going to, all those type of things. Either way, each person can help. Once they put in that effort, the work life will be balanced.
Yeah.
You get?
I was going to add to that too. So I believe that one of the best ways to surmount these pressures is running the family, the work, and the life as an organization.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is trying to come in from a place of not who is supposed to do this or that, but creating that atmosphere of, okay, whether or not she delivers on this, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to do it. So before getting married or even while in marriage, there may be rules defined for everybody, but an organization is one that runs, even when this department is not delivering, say, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to deliver on this. Like she made mention of, buying fuel in the car and doing other things, the men engaging in domestic works is also part of how to make the family work. So what I'm recommending is running the family, say, okay, this is an organization now. We are together on this. The children, we are going to help them, and then we're going to work together for a different work. You will even notice that you can help your wife, a real man who is a leader, can even help the wife in her corporate work, maybe to deliver an assignment and all those things. So the mindset of running the family, the life as an organization, and also running yourself as an organization now, creating that balance. Okay, today, Saturday, I'm going to work out. It doesn't matter how much time I have. Working in advance to create that exercise time and routine. It will help to create that balance.
Okay.
Making it more.
That's a really good insight. And I know that you must have had personal experiences when it comes to managing your work and your life as well. So let's start with Chikam. So let's hear, do you have a personal experience of trying to balance, your work and your life? And how did that work for you? How did that turn out for you?
Wow. Okay, yes, I have a personal experience. At first, it wasn't easy. In fact, at some point I would be sick and I can't even own up and say, please, I can't come to work because I'm sick, because I'm like, I have to meet this target at work. And a staff being sick is something that should be able to excuse the staff from work to get back. Because if the staff dies, it's just probably mini silence. HR will hire another person the next minute, and it's over.
Yeah, everybody moves on.
So I had this experience because there were not a lot of people, and by God's grace, I could do a lot in the organization. I was even doing things that my managers would just, the tasks they give them, they are supposed to do. They will hand it over to me. They will just put signature and forward. I may carry the work. I didn't take the glory. So it was that bad. And at first, I didn't even know that it was really eating into me. Till I looked back and I didn't have any life. I'll go to work around 8. And because I want to meet up with this, meet up with that, I'll be coming back 7, 8. This work that in the paper is written that you should close by 5.
That's paper.
In the paper is written.
Work.
But then they'll give you work. And then you're trying to, because I really wanted to be very helpful to the organization. I was trying to meet up with this and 1 week, 2 weeks, I haven't even taken care of myself. And I'll be like, I'll go for shopping next week. I'll go for shopping next week. At the end, I've not bought the things I should buy. I've not done the things. And then I wasn't eating healthy at some point. I'll just come to work, I'll get junk. Because I didn't even have time to cook at home or even go to market. Imagine when I was working 8 to like 7 in the evening. Who will I meet in the market? So I come back the next day, I just buy junk and eat. Or I go to the canteen and then whatever they have, I pay the salary they're giving me again to use and eat something that maybe if I had taken to market, I would have bought something I could cook and refrigerate.
So how were you able to now, overcome? How were you able to handle?
First, I learned to communicate. At some point, I walked up to my manager, not being rude, because they understood that I was really very productive. So I had to explain like how this was eating into my life and into my time. So they also began to even see, because sometimes they don't know that they are harming you. They think, okay, she's being productive. So they came to understand, okay, all right, let's reduce this. Okay, do this at your own convenience. At some point in that work, I even had the phone, the organization's phone at home. So people call me 10 in the midnight. I'm sleeping. Somebody wakes me up with a call. And then you have to pick up yourself and start answering professionally.
Of course. So communication. And
I communicated. Yeah. Then at some point I had to leave.
Okay.
Because the system was becoming so tight for me, and I didn't want to deliver less.
Yes.
So being that,
were you married at that point, or were you?
All those pressures were coming while I was single.
Okay.
So at the time I now married, the expectations were still there, and there was no how I was going to still give that 100% delivery being married. At least something should be relieved from me. But the organization was not willing to relieve them. Okay, so you had added, responsibilities. If they had been willing to relieve them and give me some time to travel down, because I wasn't in Enugu at the time, some time to travel down, I would have found a way to balance it. But they were not willing to give me the time to travel down as a married person, newly married person. They were not going to even relieve job. So by the time I come back, I can't even discuss with my husband over the phone, because I'm tired, I want to sleep, preparing for tomorrow morning.
It's quite tasking.
At some point, I just had to choose my family and my marriage over the work, because they chose the work.
Yes.
At some point, I won't be at that work.
What was best for
I chose my family and my
So,
marriage.
Uche, what about you?
Well, there was something she said earlier about having to go to work by 8 and coming back by 7. I was like, you were even free compared to what I passed through.
That's true.
Because mine as an entrepreneur, like working for myself, self-employed, I have to go out by 6:30, come back by 11:30, 12 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Trying to work and do everything. I was doing everything, the sweeping, the setting up. I run a chain of campus stores, like I do campus business, I do retail sales. So I have to run around, make sure that this thing is going, make sure that the vendors supply everything.
Okay,
so
but sorry to cut in, but if you were hired by someone, would you be able to still work the way you work now as an entrepreneur?
Naturally, I work very hard. I don't know for others, but I would be able to if the pay is good. That's the only condition. But from the statistics, the pay is not good.
It's not good, so you just chose
to work. So how did I create this balance? The last year, work-life, misbalance took a whole lot of me. I have to work literally 200 hours.
Wow.
For a season, So like it was like 200 days I was working. I couldn't remember any day missing work. I was just working to make sure that, because we started last year, I was trying to set up everything. So by the grace of God, we are extending to branches. So how was I able to solve this problem? First is by employing more people. Because sometimes as an employer, as a self-employed person, you may not see the need to have workers. but because you want to make all the money. But if you begin to employ persons and delegate some task, you will be able to create this balance within you.
Okay. Yeah, because of time, because we're running out of time now. Just very briefly, what would you advise somebody who is currently struggling with maintaining a healthy work-life balance? Just, briefly, just tell us.
Okay, it's just twofold. First of all, is prioritize things. What is very important to you? For me, what is very important to me are my goals, not really the business, like my personal life goals, my purpose, my leadership, what I'm supposed to do in the world. So secondly is about employing more persons, can delegate domestic work, can delegate works in the office to make sure that you have more time for yourself.
What about you, Chikam?
Okay, yeah, just as you said, prioritize your schedule. You have a to-do list of things you should do so that you tick once you're done with it. Then time management. We focus more on the corporate world. This work-life balance also has to do with people that have their own businesses. You should have time. It's about intentionality. You can't chase the money 24 hours a day. So at some point, keep the laptop, close your shop, go home, go and rest. Do something that will be beneficial to you. Go out, eat the money you've made. Right. Go for lunch.
Go for lunch. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Have a good time.
Yes.
And be happy.
And be happy.
Thank you so much, Uche, and thank you so much, Chikamso. It's a very enlightening conversation, and I hope people out there, understand what a healthy work-life balance is and start to, imbibe this as part of their day-to-day life. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, Gender Perspective continues. Work-life balance is a concept that has gained increasing attention in recent years as people have become more aware of the importance of having a fulfilling life outside of work. Some people may view work-life balance as having equal time for both work and personal life, while others might see it as having the flexibility to manage their work and personal life in a way that suits their individual needs. Well, let's hear what the people on the streets have to say about this.
What I understand by work-life balance is one's ability, to a kind of one's ability to be able to control your workspace, your personal life, to be able to kind of bring a balance to both of them so that none will be a kind of interfering on the other, so that there will be a kind of a balanced phase. When you are not able to kind of place a balance between those two, you will be confused. It will make you to be kind of, have a streamlined process. It will make everything weighing you down. But when you have a kind of a balance between the two, like everything will flow fluently. Everything will flow at its pace.
What I understand by work-life balance is when you can manage your time and your resources. At least when you wake up in the morning, you manage, that you are going to work that particular time. You go to work early. When you are coming back, you are coming back home. You manage, you can balance the two. And again, most times when you go to work, you'll be stressed up in your workplace. You'll be stressed up in your workplace. And that yes, at least when you just leave your workplace and go home on time, so you can meet up with your family, so you can get ready for work the next day. How you expect to be like if you don't plan yourself very well, you see that it will affect you health-wise and otherwise, if you don't plan yourself very well. My advice is that you make sure that everything you are doing in life, you have to plan yourself. That's just my advice. Everything you are doing in life, so you can balance the two. Be your life, the way you live your life, and the way you go to work.
Work-life balance, my understanding, is balancing both your personal and your work life and other things in your life. So you have
it affects many things. Like, let's say you try to balance your work and your family together. I mean, sometimes you do more in the other side. It's a two-way situation. So for me, I think the way, like, for me, the way it can be avoided is so you can plan your life, plan your, like, the work as in get a work that you can be able to like make a difference. Like, how do I put it? Get a work that you can be able to mesh together with your family or any other business you have with your personal life. That's what I think. Work-life balance, I would say that as an individual, as a person, you know, first of all, you have to ask yourself, what do I really want? Like, what do I want to do? Most times I find out that married women, once they get married, they find it very difficult to go for their career and other things. Pregnancy, childcare, all these things is a distraction. So I think when you ask yourself, what do I really want to do, you can now know if to go on or to take your time and sit back. When you don't know what you want, you end up joining or moving with the crowd. But when you know what you want, you have to distinguish yourself by focusing directly on what you really want and all that. The others are used to people who has problem with balancing their life, work, and okay. Well, my advice is go for what you want and focus on what you know you can do with. That is just it. Work-life balance, it's an individual responsibility. Okay? It's the responsibility of you to design a program. Okay? It's your own responsibility, individual responsibility, to design a program to make sure that you balance work with life. Alright? Because even without that work, the essence of working is for you to have means to sustain life. Alright? And if you keep working without having a plan to balance it, definitely one will suffer. Okay? There's this adage they say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Alright? So, and in Nigeria, you know, we have economic realities that we have to face. Most times, even in the civilized countries, developed countries, most people don't keep one job. Alright? They keep working even within 16 to 18 hours in a day, in a 24-hour. Somebody work 18 hours. Then, how many hours will then be allocated for other balance, for the life itself to be sustained? And if you don't do this, a lot of things will suffer. Your health, first of all, will suffer. All right, the family, if you are the person that is a family person, the family itself will suffer. That's why we have a lot of cases of divorce abroad. Okay? So, and because there are gaps that needed to be closed if the person had, or the couple had planned their work life. You understand? So, and it's a very big topic anyway. I'm just picking it on the surface. And again, it's important everyone is advised, or you advise yourself. Most advice that work well is the advice you give to yourself. Okay, bearing in mind that the health is yours. Okay, and if you allow yourself to break down, definitely the person will pack up. Those lengthy hours of work, this lengthy time and all that, the person will go and spend the money he saved in the hospital. So it's advisable you check it, you balance it to make sure that your work does not suffer and your own recreational activity does not suffer, and your own family, the time you need to apportion to take care of your family does not suffer, and you take time to do exercise, all right, and other developmental programs for yourself other than the work. So it's something that is encouraged, and also I also want a government would incorporate it, all right, in the scheme of service or scheme of work that would allow, back in the days we used to hear about annual leave, but most times in reality, some people do not even have, there are no spaces in offices, all right, for you to now leave your office to go for annual leave, all right. So these government should also make it a compulsory that people that work under them mandatorily go for annual leave, and
recreational activities should also be encouraged by government. They should also build up parks and locations where people would go and relax, take even if it is an hour nap and all that. So it's something that even in the civilized country they do have all those facilities. But everywhere, we just built houses. So these are meant for recreation. So that's that.
In recent years, there has been a growing recognition of the importance of work-life balance, both for individuals and for organizations. And studies have shown that employees who have good work-life balance are more productive, engaged, and satisfied with their jobs. They are also less likely to experience burnout and stress-related health problems. Organizations are also realizing the benefits of promoting work-life balance among their employees by offering flexible work arrangements, generous leave policies, and other benefits. They can attract and retain top talent, improve employee morale, and increase productivity. Of course, achieving work-life balance is not always easy. It requires effort and commitment from both individuals and organizations. However, the benefits of work-life balance are well worth the effort. By prioritizing work-life balance, individuals can improve their overall well-being and live more fulfilling lives. Well, thank you so much for staying throughout the program. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. We are live 24/7 on YouTube at Signature TV. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha. Enjoy your day.